Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. Okay, so a few quick updates. About 2 days ago, I was having dinner and I got a call from a friend of mine, and this friend was saying, "Did you hear the news?" And I said, "What news? WhatsApp is down." He said, "No, it's not WhatsApp. We just heard in the news that anybody who would, going forward, speak against COVID-19 vaccine or the virus, that such a person would lose their social media accounts across all social media platforms." And I just laughed because I have been speaking about these things for the longest time. I have spoken about these things in many of my videos. And this is why I kept telling everybody to be psychologically prepared and don't be emotionally attached to anything that you have online, maybe your social media account or whatever, because a time is going to come when they're going to be asking for a pound of flesh from you. Nothing in this world really is free. You think you have all these things, it's all for free. No, it's not free. They're going to make demands that are very, very difficult on you. And when that time comes, which I believe is almost like now, you have to be able to stand up and say, you know what, I don't care. I prefer my own freedom and my right as a human being to express myself. I prefer that to just having some virtual presence that, doesn't really even mean anything, as a matter of fact. So that's what happened. But that was not all that happened over the last few days. No matter where you are on earth, you must have seen what happened to WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram and all the other social media platforms. They went down for several hours. And there were a lot of speculations here and there, people wondering what really happened, what must have happened. I know that these guys have all come out to apologize. I think Mark Zuckerberg or something, but they're not really telling you what is going on. I remember for me as a person, I had my own suspicions, and that was why I went and said, you know what, I made a post on Twitter, and I said, you know what, if these guys come back up, okay, do not actually just take them for what you used to take them for, because they're going to be re-engineered now when they come back to spy on you, to restrict you, to control you and stuff like that. And I meant the social media platforms that went down. You know, that was my own personal suspicion. I said that on Twitter, okay? But then there were so many other things that started happening. There's a different dimension that I'm not sure you're hearing of anywhere, not even on mainstream media. Of course, never on mainstream media. And that dimension is that our world is engaged in a very, very serious war between good and evil. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard about this thing called CERN, CERN. So this CERN thing is one of the most humongous and the biggest thing that the science world has ever seen. I think they are operating out of Geneva. They are into all kinds of stuff, scientific, a whole lot. I'm going to do a video separately on CERN. This is not why I'm making this video. But I brought CERN up because I want you to know that something very strange is happening with CERN. That's why many people have been talking about it, but it's been very difficult to break down for a lot of people to understand. With this CERN, in a layman's language, let me explain to you what these guys are doing and what they've actually started doing. They have developed this massive machine that is able to create a bridge, or to bridge the gap between the seen world and the unseen world. So a massive machine like this, okay? And now you know that we have a distance between the realms of consciousness and the realms of subconsciousness. You have a distance between the natural world and the spiritual world. So this machine is basically scientifically bridging the gap between the natural world and the supernatural world, or the spiritual world. And so what is happening is that they are creating an opportunity for easy access into our world by spiritual beings. So there's now going to be easy teleportation from the other side of life to this other side of life. They even put this in movies now. They are beginning to put it in movies, when they make all these evil inventions, right? They always put it in movies and call it science fiction. Now, let me tell you, in case you don't already know, 99.9% of what you call science fiction are actually science reality. Science fictions are no fictions at all. That's why almost every so-called science fiction you've seen in the past are things that are now being experienced in our world today. If they were fictions, why are they happening today? So this is another one. CERN has a logo that actually depicts 666. That's their logo. It's 666. That's CERN. Just to tell you more about what these guys are all about. So basically, because of this, there is an influx of demonic entities into our world who are now being operating using human bodies and human forms. So they are even working in different places. Remember, I did a video some time ago when I talked about how that an alien is currently working with some agency in the United States of America, and his name is Val. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes. And I told you that aliens are actually demons. Now, this thing was happening. This is what people used to do with yoga. Okay, I did something about Kundalini yoga one time, and I was talking about how in Kundalini yoga, what you are basically doing is that you are, through your consciousness, summoning a demonic spirit, a demonic entity, and giving your breath, your life to that demon to take over your entire being. That's why many people who have been involved in Kundalini yoga, they always end up being possessed, and most of them lose their minds. Some of them become crazy. They are committed to psychiatric homes and all kinds of stuff, because when the demon then arises, that demon takes over your entire being. So this is what is going on now. You don't need that yoga conjuration or yoga meditation to be able to bring the demons now. You just have to use CERN developed equipment that is larger than life. My goodness, larger than life. By the time I do a video on CERN, you will probably be able to understand what CERN is all about. Because when you watch all these videos, some of you are not able to understand it. That's why when I make my videos, I take my time to break it down for my African audience so they can understand what really is going on. So based on this whole CERN invention and the influx of demons in our world and increased demonic activities all over the place, and the way they are even controlling the social media platforms. Now look at the other day, I just woke up and realized that Facebook has suspended my account. And now said I have to show them photo ID, I have to show this and show that to avoid identity theft, to avoid this one and that one. And I'm like, what? And then I read down further, I found out that they are actually going to probably be sending some private individuals to go and vet me wherever I am, or to investigate me or something like that. And I'm like, this is a social media platform. It's like a village square where we come to talk about stuff. I mean, don't you have plugins and stuff that people can make use of to protect themselves? Why do you have to go this far? Because these guys don't want anybody to actually have freedom of speech. Let me tell you something. Denial of the freedom of speech is a precursor to mass murder. Anytime a totalitarian regime is about to be born in any nation of the world, the first thing they do, or maybe the last thing they do and perfect, is to deny people the freedom to express themselves, the freedom of speech. So when they say that anybody who speaks against COVID-19 or against the vaccine, that the person will lose their social media account, I just laugh, because I have been telling you, you should not be emotionally attached to all these things, because they're going to use it to get at you. Can you imagine that? We cannot talk about COVID-19 vaccine or the virus, despite all the questions that we have, despite all the mounting concerns that we have. But you can go nude and be naked on social media. You can do anything that you want. You can talk about anything and anybody, but do not talk about COVID-19 vaccine. Now, when you hear stuff like this, do you still think that people like us who had a lot of questions and doubts about this nonsense, that we were in the wrong, or that we were conspiracy theorists, or that we are fearmongers? Do you still think that way? How can we not ask questions about something we don't understand? Of all the things to talk about, this one, nobody should talk about it. And you are not asking yourself some very pertinent questions. What is it about this thing that nobody can talk about it? People who have, even professionals, even medical doctors who went to school, who have been certified, prominent medical doctors, who actually should be listened to by our word, when they come to speak about the concerns they have about COVID, they are shut down on social media. People like me have been shut down several times. Do you know how many times YouTube put me on timeout for simply saying, this is what I'm finding out? It is not just from me. Look at a professional is speaking. These are not quack doctors. These are professional doctors of many, many years experience in their profession. You can't talk about it because it's COVID-19. Then what is it about COVID-19? See what we're talking about. So this is why I said, I need to prepare everyone. If you follow me, no matter where you are, no matter what you do, I want you to know that we are living in the last days. When I come up with that video, I have a lot of projects I'm doing right now. Once I'm done with it, I'm going to descend on that. You know how I do my stuff. I'll break it so down for you. You're going to understand it very well. So you know what CERN is all about. These guys have driven our world to the cliff, and it is the worst we are expecting to happen now. If God does not come to help us, we are all doomed. But what I'm hearing, especially based on what happened to social media platforms, is that it looks as if there is some type of angelic intervention going on in the world. And this is not something I'm going to just put up out there. I have to go deep down to get you some investigation to do it and be able to help you understand what is happening. There is serious war going on in our own dimension on earth. A war between good and evil, a war between the angels of God and the angels of darkness. It is going on, and the so-called social media giants you're looking at are also part of this war. So maybe when I do my stuff on CERN, I can bring you up to speed on what is really going on with that particular war between light and darkness, which is raging right now as we speak. Because many people do not know that the social media giants or social media platforms that went down actually went down in almost 75 to 80% of the whole world. It wasn't Nigeria, it wasn't Africa, it wasn't Europe. It went about 75 to 80% of the world lost access to social media platforms for hours. Something is going on, and we're going to get to it so that you can also know that what we've been telling you about the end of the world is not a joke, it's not fear-mongering, it's not conspiracy theory, because conspiracy theory is something, is a cliche they normally want to use to, just dispel what they call rumors, yet they are facts. They want to use it to discourage you from learning the truth that you're supposed to learn. The Bible says that you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But when we bring you the truth, the so-called social media platforms will stifle us, stifle our voices, and stop you from knowing the truth, because these people don't mean well for any one of us. And so I just decided that I should give you this quick update so you know where we are. No matter how busy I am, I'm going to try my best to be giving you periodic updates on what is really going on what is unfolding. With that stuff that happened with the shutdown of social media platforms, I want you to be at alert, because so much more is planned from my own secret information source. A lot more is planned, a lot of shock, a lot of traumatic stuff. So when I say be psychologically prepared, please take me seriously. Be psychologically prepared. Our world is going through a massive supernatural interdimensional war. I am telling you this right now, and I said I make a promise. You know I always keep my promises to you. I will make a video to break this down for you, but take this to the bank and cash it. A massive interdimensional war is taking place now. And if you're not psychologically prepared for it, your heart may faint, and you might probably end up doing stuff that could be very detrimental to your life. And I don't pray that that is your case. So for me, I pray that God will keep all of us safe and keep us sane as we go through this very turbulent season in our lives as human beings. May God bless you and keep you. Bye-bye.